Hello and welcome back. In this video, we're going to take a look at arrays, procedures, and functions. So, time to practice. So here is the examples of this tutorial. The first example is about using arrays and procedures together. We got static array here, this one. So at this time, I have mentioned something. In Delphi or Object Pascal, you can also use dynamic arrays. You can create dynamic arrays like this. You can just type array of integer, or you're gonna make the two-dimensional array. You can write array of integer. So that's so easy. So then here we got three integers and three arrays, A, B, C, ARR from this one. This is the array. So here I've written input and output procedures for inputting elements to the arrays and showing the elements of arrays as matrix here. So in the input procedure, as you can see, we got two parameters here, integer and var c array. The first one for size, the size of the array. The next one is array. The next one is variable parameter, or we can say it reference parameter. It's an input and output parameter. This means it can be used for passing a value to a function or procedure, as well as to get back a value from the function or procedure. We can indicate it by the use of the var keyword in front of this formal parameter here. So here we got local variables, call it ing integers. As you can see that this is up for loops here, and this is simply inputting the data to the arrays. And here we got output procedure. We can print elements to the console as a matrix here by writing the code like this one. And this is for styling the data and the new line here. So this is the main part. We are giving the size of the array here and giving values to the elements using input procedure that we have written above. This code helps us to add the elements of A and B arrays to the C array. And then here we are printing out the elements to the console using the output procedure. So now we can run this application here. And we got n, can input the 2 here. Array A, 2, 3, 4. Array B, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here. And we can click the enter. And here we got array A, the elements, array B elements, and in the C array we got some of the A and B array elements. So this one. Also, I want to show you one trick using the default parameters in procedure. Also, you can use it in the functions. So first of all, we have to know about the default parameters. A default parameter refers to as optional argument is a function or procedure parameter, and that has a default value and it can be provided to it. If the programmer doesn't supply a value for this parameter, the default parameter value will be used. And if the programmer doesn't supply a value for the default parameter, the programmer supplied value is used. So the programmer can extend an existing function or procedure by adding some parameters that have default value instead of writing an identical method with different parameters. So you should beware on using default parameters. Once in a parameter list an optional parameter is defined, all of the following parameters have to be optional. So a mandatory parameter must not have a later position than an optional parameter. So in the procedure output, we can add the default parameter, call it default param. And here we have to give the type of this default parameter, string, and the value. In this default parameter, you can change the value on the code. So here I will write a colon. And then we can use the default parameter on the 33 line, this code. So, comma and default param. So that's it. Now we can run. And here we got columns. So This is a simple and very valuable information for using the arrays and the procedures together. Now we can go to the second example. So in this example, we will start by creating a simple function here. So here, function add a and b integer, and here b extended, and result equals a plus b. Now in the main part, we can use this code. Write ln add 5 and 7. So save and run it. So as you can see, we got this kind of result. We can style it, and here you can see 12. Very easy. So in the add function, we can't use real or float point values. For example, 5.1, 7.2, and you can run it, and we can check it. Here we got incompatible types. So at this time, we have to create another function that must be real or the double parameters. We can copy and paste it. But here we got the add must be marked with the overloaded directive. You can change it. Real. So what is overloaded directive? Overloading is simple technique. If you write overload keyword on the end of the procedure or the function, the compiler can determine which of the function you want to call, and it checks the parameter types. So we can write simple overload directive here, and this one also, overload. And then you can use all of the functions in the main part. Ln add, and so now we can run. And here we got the result. In the coming video tutorial, we will dive into some advanced topics like object-oriented programming.